Tonight on Newsbeat, 2 dead bodies found near LSU, one of them a student. We have the details on the ongoing investigation.
And I'm here at the Faculty Club where I'm about to speak to the new president-elect and the new vice president-elect of student body.
And what does it take to become Miss LSU? We have a look at the struggles and successes of this year's winner.
All this and more, Newsbeat starts right now. Hello and welcome back to Newsbeat. I'm Trey Cuvion.
And I'm Rachel Handley. Thanks for joining us.
The 2 bodies found near LSU's campus yesterday have been identified. 21-year-old Joy Gentil and 19-year-old Max Raymond were found dead in an apartment complex on Highland Road. Media Relations Director Ernie Ballard says Raymond was a freshman at LSU, and was reporting missing since March 28. Gentil was not a student at the university. BRPD released a statement saying the 2 were renting an apartment through a rental service. They say a cleaning crew discovered the 2 bodies around 1 p.m. The coroner's office is currently working to determine the cause of death, as BRPD says there were no obvious signs of trauma. We will have more details as the story develops.
And student government elections have come and gone. The only thing left, inauguration. Trey Steptoe is live at the Law Center with more. Trey?
Ooh, okay. Hi, yes, and I'm here at the Faculty Club right next to the Student Union where the Student Government Inauguration Ceremony reception is being celebrated. I'm here with the new President-elect, William Jewell. How are you?
Doing well today. Really excited. Had an awesome inauguration. This is really just a testament to all the work that everyone's not only put on in the campaign, but the last year's administration, other branches of student government. Really just excited for the upcoming year.
Okay, so what is your first act as president? What do you think you're going to do?
So my first act as president, Taylor and I this week, the executive staff applications actually close on Thursday, and so this whole weekend, kind of our first big thing is going to be interviewing all those applicants and putting together our executive staff. With the runoff election, it pushed everything back about a week, so the timeline's pretty condensed, but we're really excited to interview all of those applicants and put together a really good staff.
Well, I'm excited to see what's going to happen. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Trey. If you would like to go to the reception, you can head over to the steps of the Law Center.
The Louisiana Alcohol and Tobacco Commission is cracking down on the sale of CBD.
It's a substance sold in many Louisiana shops, already exploding in popularity. CBD is derived from hemp, similar to marijuana. It contains less than 0.3% THC, a psychoactive chemical found in marijuana. The ATC says that while federal government allows hemp products to be sold, the state prohibits the sale of any substances containing even trace amounts of THC.
The Louisiana Board of Pharmacy says CBD is considered by the state to be a form of marijuana, making it a Schedule I controlled substance. The commission advises shops under their jurisdiction to remove the product from their shelves, and the Drug Policy Board will review the federal and state laws to issue an opinion on CBD soon.
And 22 entered the arena, but only one was crowned Miss LSU.
Kendall Duncan is in studio with more on what it takes to win the crown. Kendall?
Thanks, Trey. On Sunday, 22 women competed for the title of Miss LSU USA 2019. The panel judged the contestants based on an interview, swimsuit, and evening gown competition. When all was said and done, one woman was crowned as the new Miss LSU USA 2019.
First runner-up is contestant 15, Brooklyn Farley. And your Miss LSU 2019, Kaylee Kelly.
This was the raw emotion of Kaylee Kelly after being announced as the new Miss LSU USA 2019. This title, a dream she's had for many years now.
I sat in the stands since I was 13 years old, and I knew I wanted to be Miss LSU when I grew up, and there was nothing changing my mind. So as a freshman, I started competing, and then I couldn't stop. And this was actually going to be my last year doing Miss LSU, and so now it's just a dream come true.
22 lovely young ladies.
The pageant is not just a beauty contest, but provides Miss LSU a platform to advocate for positive change on the LSU campus and within the community. The former Miss LSU 2018, Olivia Rackley, has advice for Kelly about this platform.
Say, take this crown, realize that it's so much bigger than you now. Find something that you're passionate about, promote change, stand on this platform and take it throughout your community, throughout your college, throughout your state.
Kelly already has plans to impact the mental health resources on campus as the new Miss LSU.
I definitely hope to bring awareness to suicide education, and I really just want to empower our campus, work with our student government, and really unite everybody.
In fact, suicide is the second most common cause of death among college students. According to Safe Colleges, more than half of college students have had suicidal thoughts.
Our mission of ending the stigma against suicide can be heard, and that we are bringing the best mental health resources we can on campus.
As for future contestants, Miss LSU's advice is simple.
I would just say stay true to yourself.
If you're a student struggling with mental health and have had suicidal thoughts, you can call the LSU hotline at 225-924-5781 or the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255.
Thanks, Kendall. And with an increase in movements that relate to women's rights, empowerment, and freedom of expression, students at LSU want to join in on the conversation. The Women's Empowerment Initiative began this 2019 school year, setting off a series of events, starting with the Heart to Art, initiating discussions about how women of color feel isolated from the rest of LSU's student body. In the 2018 school year, more than 50% of students are female, while 30% of the student body is considered a person of color. Even so, there haven't been any programs specifically aimed towards women of color coming out of the Black Student Union. Anne-Marie Herod, a graduate student and intern in higher education, is at the forefront of this change.
Women of color don't necessarily have issues with graduating from college. They do feel that isolation and that imposter syndrome, and they experience a lot of different, issues throughout their tenure in college. And so we want to be that safe, network for them.
The BSU does have plans in the works for a campaign that will provide classes to develop leadership skills. The campaign should be up and running by the upcoming fall semester to create an in-house support system for all women of color at LSU.
And you wouldn't think movies and recycling would go hand in hand, but if you're at LSU, it does. Reporter Madeline Kelly looked into a little film festival that's fighting back against food waste.
LSU kicked off the annual Environmental Film Festival last Thursday by holding a sustainability social and art show. There, 2 local artists and 2 environmental vendors were promoting less food waste. Shade Winfrey, who works in communications for the festival and is an undergrad at LSU, talks about just how bad food waste can affect our environment.
When we put it into a landfill, as opposed to putting food into composting, it doesn't go back into the soil. That nutrients doesn't revitalize the soil from which it came. So if you're going to grow food, it's going to seep nutrients out of the soil. And then if you just throw it in a landfill without composting it, there's no way to put that nutrients back into the soil.
Winfrey says students can help keep food waste down by simply planning a little more.
Plan your meals. Eating at the dining hall is a great alternative. Even if you live off campus, you could have a small meal plan where on campus, instead of eating something like Chick-fil-A, you could potentially go to, a dining hall.
Information, check out the full story on our website, tigertv.tv. And when we come back, the road to redemption is getting a little easier for some Louisiana ex-convicts.
We have the story after the break.
It's a new dawn, it's a new day. It's a new life for me, yeah. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. It's a new life for me. Ooh, and I'm feeling good.
A recent ruling by the Supreme Court allowed many juvenile lifers to be released from prison. A new organization called Parole Project is helping reintegrate those juveniles back into society. Carla Yakel is in studio with more. Carla?
That's right, Trey. In 2012, the Supreme Court ruled that sentencing a juvenile to life without parole was unconstitutional. In 2016, Andrew Hunley was the first juvenile lifer to be paroled in Louisiana. He started Parole Project to help other juveniles like himself get a second chance.
Louisiana State Penitentiary, home to many juvenile lifers ready for the day they get to see the other side of the gate, and Parole Project waiting for them.
Let's go. Come on.
Our mission is to empower change for our clients. We provide legal representation, advocacy, and reentry support for individuals who have served long prison sentences. We advocate for their release when we find candidates who are deserving, and then we support them to make sure that they can meet their full potential upon release.
On the walls of this law office is a list of over 200 names of juvenile lifers that are still in prison, waiting for Parole Project to help secure their release like they did for Glenn Livas.
They're like a supportive family, a second family. Like if you can't produce in the family with your family members, you can always be with Project Parole. They're going to be there to help you. They're like a second hand holding you up. If you fall, you got something back to fall back on.
The organization helps parolees get back on their feet after decades in prison. One of the most important steps in this reintegration process is enrolling them in driving school so they can get their license.
You know, we send people to prison and we sort of have this idea of them being the worst of the worst. They're in orange jumpsuits now. They're breaking rocks in prison and we forget about them. But 95% of people who go to prison are coming out one day. So it behooves all of us to be concerned about what are these individuals doing while they're incarcerated, and once they're released, what kind of opportunities are they getting to be successful?
In the last 2 years, Parole Project has helped over 60 people, and they are happy to say that none of them have gone back to prison. This is Carla Yakel with Tiger TV Newsbeat.
Parole Project is always open to donations and volunteers to ensure clients have the best opportunities to become productive citizens. If you're interested in Parole Project, you can go to their website at www.paroleproject.org. Back to you, Trey.
Thanks, Carla. Coming up, it's about to get more expensive to watch your favorite TV shows. We'll tell you why after the break.
Time to show who's in charge. Call me a shooting star. Shooting stars. Didn't even get to cross.
Well, we have some bad news for Netflix users. The streaming giant is raising prices again. Netflix is increasing plans in the U.S. by $1 to $2. The company says the extra revenue will help fund more original movies and TV shows. You can expect the new prices to roll out next month. And that's all the time we have. For more news, check out our social media pages or visit tigertv.tv. I'm Rachel Handley.
And I'm Trey Cuvion. Thanks for watching and have a great night, Tigers.